Okay, number 12. What is the x-intercept? The x-intercept is when you can't have an x-intercept if you don't have an x, so it's when y equals 0. So this term goes away or turns to 0, so you have negative x equals 2, and so the opposite of negative would be a positive, so you can change all the signs. You can divide by -1 on both sides or multiply times -1. Either way, x equals -2. And so what is the intercept? You can put it in an ordered pair, or you can put in just -2. Don't put x equals -2. So it's either -2 or -2 and 0. Those are your two answers that are valid. Okay, square root of 32. When you are simplifying a radical, you're looking for the largest perfect square in 32. So your perfect squares, of course, are 1, 4, 9, 25, 36, and so on. So by calculator, you can do y equals the number, so 32. Opposite of square root is squared, divide by x squared. And the way it works is that the perfect square comes out, and that is in your x column, and what's left in the radical is in your y column. So y equals, and let me clear, 32 divided by x squared. And so you're looking for whole numbers. Of course, we always have 1, so you have 4 and 2. So x and y, 4 and 2. So the outer number comes out and the inner stays in. So where do these numbers come from? Well, 4 squared is, I missed one, is 16. And 2 times 16 equals 32. So the square root of 16 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 32. And the square root of 16 is 4. So this is your answer. 14. So you have two problems in here. So you have the number. So 81 is only raised to the 0.5. It has nothing to do with the 2.5. And then when you have a power on the outside, the exponents multiply. So 81 to the 0.5 is to the 1/2, which is the same thing as square root. So, which would be 9. So 81 raised to the 0.5. And press enter. Of course, you get 9. So that's your first part of your answer. And then you do 0.25 times 0.5. And go math, enter, and give me a fraction. So x to the 1/8. So even if it's given in decimal, they want the answer as a fraction. So to get the answer as a fraction, you hit math, enter. Simplify. So you have 3 numbers, and they're just multiplying. So 2 times 3 times 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. So you have 36. And now your letters, when you multiply, you add. So 2 and -3 add together to give you u to the -1. And then you have b has no friends. But we have to put it with positive exponents only. So if they are negative on top, move them down and the exponents turn positive. So 36 over u, because anything to the 1 power is just u, and b squared. Number 16, factor the following expression. So on your formula chart, this is the second formula, the difference of two squares. So you take the square root of each, and then you're going to have the, take the square root, and then you're going to have the plus and the minus, or the minus and plus, either way. And that's the difference of two squares. So if it's not subtraction, then you can't do it. So the square root of 225 is 15. And if you don't know, put it in the calculator. Square root of 121 is 11. And the square root of x squared is x. So you're gonna have the positive and the negative, and with parentheses around it. Okay, 17, and unfortunately 17 and 18 are super duper similar. What multiplies to give you 30 and adds together to give you 13. So, and both of them have to be positive. And this one, both of them have to be negative. So 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 plus 10 is 13. If you can't remember to find your factors, what numbers multiply, you take your number and you divide by x, and that'll show you all the numbers that multiply to give you that number. So d plus 10 and d plus 3, and then this one would be the exact same, but they're both going to be negative. So d minus 10 and d minus 3. Latasha decides to sell some quecks and totones. So quecks is your X. Altogether, she planned to sell no less than 7 items. So we're selling both of them. So X plus Y, no less than, so that's opposite of less, so it's going to be greater than equal to 7. Which pair of numbers is in the relationship? So we're looking for a true statement. So we're going to add the two numbers together. It needs to be greater. So 7 plus 1 equals 8, and 8 is greater than 7. So the answer is C. And last but not least, number 20. Find the order pair that's in both. Okay, so you have two methods to be able to solve a matrix. One is solve both for y, and then graph, and you're looking for the intersection. Okay, so let's do that since they're both easily solved for y. So I'm going to divide everything by -5. And you don't even have to reduce it or simplify it. You can put a parentheses and then divide by -5. And we're dividing by 10. There's only one term, so I'm going to go ahead and divide by 10. So my calculator, y equals, and again, you don't have to reduce it. So I can do -2x divided by 10, which I know is -1/5. And you have parentheses x plus 16 divided by -5. Okay, and so we are going to graph. And again, we're looking for the intersection. You need to see the intersection. Oh, and this one, I probably should have reduced. So -2 divided by 10, -2 divided by 10 equals -1/5. That reduces. 2 goes in there 5 times. And x divided by -5, so x over -5, that's a 1, also has a slope of 1/5. So if you look at our graph, they don't intersect. So they are parallel, and so our solution is no solution. Sorry about that. I had it too big. Let me... Okay, so I graphed them. I went ahead and took the 1x divided by -5. That gives you -1/5. -2x divided by 10. That reduces to -1/5. So therefore, since they have the same slope, they will never intersect. So your answer is no solution. Thank you.